How do we pray for peace in a time of war? Hello, Rabbi Litwack.
Hello, Rabbi David. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to see you. We've had a lot of beautiful, beautiful Israeli children coming to join us over here in our preschool. Next week, they're coming to Merkaz Sinai. It's really. I actually just popped into one of the classrooms, and I was asking the teachers if how they're feeling, if they're comfortable accepting more children, and literally without hesitation, it was yeah. I mean, everyone wants to do something. We all are just feeling this yearning to help in some way. Um, I know that you spoke about that last Shabbos, that yearning for help.
Yeah, I thought we would start today with, I think, quite possibly in my top three poems from Jewish life. I'm not going to say it's an Israeli poem because it's not. It's by Judah Halevi, but I keep seeing it in different places. Libi b'mizrach v'anochi b'sof ma'arav. Um, I am in the uh, west. My heart is in the east, and I am in the uttermost west. By Judah Halevi, who was a 11th, 12th century poet living in Spain and thinking about what's going on in Israel, and that his heart is there, and uh, that he can't taste what he eats. He can't enjoy it because his heart is somewhere else.
Mm.
And I feel that so poignantly. I wake up every morning because they're 7 hours ahead. Israel's 7 hours ahead, and so I want to know what's going on. I want to hear from relatives and friends who sent me messages while I'm sleeping, and then I go to sleep with it at night, thinking about what they're going through, and so my heart is definitively in the east.
One of the
Um,
things that's come up for me um, is is how personal this has become. And I know you have family there, and I have family there. One of the challenges that I think Israel has been working so hard at is for those people whose heart isn't in the East, for those people who don't have direct connections, how can we keep this real? How can we keep it front and center? And one of the ways that we're able to do that here is that we have our very own. She's not our very own, but we love her.
we're claiming it. We're
Our
taking
own. Yeah, we're taking our own sort of emissary, our own shaliach. They're called. They used to, when I was a kid, we always said a shaliach, but now they're shinshinit or shinshiniot. Shushini. Are they shinshiniot? Is that right, Talia?
for
Shinshiniot is for girls. Yeah.
For a girl, multiple. Yeah. So this is Talia. For those of you who don't know, Talia, I have had really, genuinely, mamash, the honor of working with Talia at Sun Sinai. She's been teaching our kids. She's been bringing Israel to life. And, you know, even I think, Rabbi, you and I are one, even though we have family there, we're one step
removed.
removed from what's going there. But Talia, you're not at all removed. I mean, you embody, you are Israel. Your family, your entire family is there. What is? Maybe you could talk for just a moment about your. First of all, are they safe? That's the most important thing. And what has it been like for you to? Have you had that emotion, Libi b'mizrach? My heart is in the east, but I'm here. I guess that's my question.
Yeah. Thank you, Rabbi David. First of all, yeah. So first of all, my family they're all safe. Baruch Hashem. They're working around the clock, but they're all safe. Yeah, it was difficult in the beginning. I was like I wanted to go back. I felt like I was abandoning, I guess, my country, my home, being so far away from it. But as you said before, I feel like I'm the connection to Israel and the situation and whatever is going on right now for so many people here. Um, yeah.
You really are that connection. But can I push you a little bit on the going back? And here's why I'm pushing on it, because the rabbi and I literally just had a conversation this morning about going to Israel right now. Can you tell me why? Like, what is it? What? So, us Americans, we run away from war. We run away from. But here you are saying, I want to go home. I want to be a part of this. I want to. This is mine. Maybe, I don't know. What is that about, you think?
Wow, that's a good question. Yeah, it's a very Israeli thing to do, to go back in a time of war. I think we all have this feeling like if I won't do it, then who would do it? Like
Im
Imena
inan
nili
nili
mili,
mili.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is what I'm supposed to do right now. Like I feel like it's not fair that other people are fighting right now or volunteering and helping soldiers, and I'm so far away. And I know so many Israelis are feeling the same way. This is our home. If we are not going to defend it, then no one else will. And we don't feel like it's an honor. It's not a duty that someone like go do it. No, like I want to do it. Yeah.
You're pre-army, right? You
Hmm.
just graduated high school, and now you're here for, is it 1 or 2 years? I think. Is it
1 year. Yeah.
1 year? And then when you go back, you will be in the army. Is that correct?
Yeah. That like feeling like during this gap year between high school and army, it's like very common. Some do shinshin like me. Some go to learn Torah for 1 year. And I actually hear it right now from a lot of my friends. They're like, why I took this gap year. Like I could be in the army right now, actually
Right.
helping.
Wow.
So yeah, they're a little frustrated right now because they feel like they're not doing anything. Like, I could be in the army right now and I'm not. Um, yeah.
What is it scarier to think about going back to the army now, or no?
Scarier.
Like, are you more
Well,
scared or
I'm obviously not going to be, like actually a warrior.
yeah, yeah.
So not in this sense. Um, no, not scarier. No. Yeah. I can't wait, to wear the uniform and feel like I'm part of this. Yeah.
I hear that. Absolutely. Yeah. Rabbi, so the feeling that we're having maybe of wanting to do something, wanting to help, is this feeling of none of us get to say we want to wear the uniform. That's something that is unique to Talia. What is there for us to do? I mean,
Yeah.
what do we do?
So, yeah, well, that's why we talked about doing this particular session, is to talk about um, what prayer can bring to this moment. Because for me, uh, sometimes I think prayer is not, am I really doing something? And I feel that now, but I also feel two things in preparing for this, that prayer for me in this moment is about centering my own feelings, is being able to name them, being able to identify them through the liturgy of our tradition. Uh, and then the second piece, and we can talk more that. The second one is that this is it is really about connecting. Prayer is meant to connect. It's not just meant to connect to God. We can have ambivalent feelings about whether God is going to answer our prayers, but prayer is also about connecting with others. So on one hand, I'm connecting with myself and my own feelings and centering myself, but it's also about me connecting with my brothers and my sisters in the land of Israel.
That feeling of connection. Someone asked me. We were at the rally in Miami. What good is it to come here? What good does this do? And the answer was, it means we're not alone. It means we're connected to other human beings that are mourning and feeling and struggling and all of
Right.
that. Yeah.
It's the reason why having Talia in our community is so important, because I think when you and I grew up, not you, Talia, sorry, when Rabbi David and I grew up, uh, Israel was maybe in film strips and uh, in videos, but there wasn't the sense of connection that we feel now, in that we can see what's happening. Even that, though, feels distant. Okay? They're 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 over there. Okay? They, okay,
Yeah.
Israelis are somewhere away from us, and so to have Talia here and for our young people and for our adults to um, to know and feel your presence is so important. We're,
Ta-
we're lucky. We're lucky in that South Florida has lots of Israelis who are
yeah.
here for a
Yeah.
variety of reasons.
Have you found, Talia? Have you found an Israeli community that you're connected to here?
Many of the schools I'm working at, they're very like the staff, the teachers, the Hebrew
Yeah.
teachers, they're like all Israelis. Um, yeah, and like actually before the war started, that's those were the places where I felt the most like comfortable. But like these were the places I was looking forward to go to work because that's where I felt the most comfortable. Like I was talking in Hebrew with people, they understood me. But now after everything that's going on, I feel like I'm looking
Uh-oh, she froze.
for most impact.
Oh, you're back. You froze for just a moment. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No, just repeat what you were saying. It was about impact.
Yeah, that actually now I feel I'm looking forward to the places where there is no Israeli community
Uh,
because that's where I feel like I have
yeah.
the most impact right now. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah. It's that's it's selfless. That's the English word, right? You where it may be more comfortable for you amongst other Israelis is not where you're needed the most, and you see that. Talia, we do a lot of, as rabbis, we spend a lot of time praying in tefillah, uh, and uh, and teaching about tefillah, and in particular, we spend a lot of time praying for peace in Israel. And I'm wondering, because I know you also you daven, you do tefillah. Is that what you're praying for? Are Israelis praying for peace?
For peace, wow. I think like the word peace, it has in Israel, like on one hand, so a lot of like it means a lot, but on the other hand, it doesn't mean a lot because like every Israeli, like when he's a kid, they tell you, oh, you're not going to the army because like when you grow up, there will be peace, and it obviously doesn't really happened. Um, I was talking to my grandmother 2 days ago about peace, and it's not really. I feel like you're not really hoping for for peace anymore. It's kind of sad to think about it, but she never mentioned it like as something you dream about, like to have peace.
Mm.
More for winning, I guess.
More for winning. I
Yeah.
was telling Rabbi Litwack earlier that in 2007 or 2006, during the Lebanon War, I went on a mission to Israel, and we heard from former Prime Minister Ehud Barak. And I asked him this question also about prayers for peace. And his answer was that at that moment in time, that Israelis aren't praying for peace. They're just praying for quiet. They would just want the rockets to stop. They just want quiet. That's always stuck with me. And yet, I'm also thinking about, and Rabbi Litwack, I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. I'm also thinking about how I was on the phone this morning with a representative from the Friends of the IDF, and she was saying to me that in Israel, Israelis are very much going about their lives as best they can, certainly in certain places in Jerusalem, and they're going about their lives as best they can. And there's this sense, like you just said, Ninatzech, we're going to win. It's that simple. We're going to win. Whereas here in America, and I'll only speak for myself, this whole thing feels, I don't know a Hebrew word, existential. It feels so big and so scary. And somehow Israelis are just,
Hopeful.
maybe it's hopeful. Maybe it's resigned to being optimistic. I'm not sure what it is.
Maybe a lack of self-awareness. Yeah.
Oh man.
Do you
Yeah,
think do you
we're
do you think do you think that's part of it? What you just said?
I think in Israel it's like it's a different feeling of safety. Every time like people here are telling me like, "Oh, how's your family? How's the people in Israel?" But when I'm talking to the people in Israel like on the phones, they're like, "Oh, how's the people? Are the Jewish people here? It must be so like scary to be a Jew right now outside of Israel."
Right.
So yeah, they feel safe in Israel more than anywhere else, even in a time of war. So
I think it's about perspective, uh, because how do you define winning? Right? I mean, I think that there is the defeating Hamas, right, which that will get done, right? But winning in what sense on the world stage, right? We're gonna root out Hamas, and then we have to deal. And I say we because I put myself as a part of the land and the people and the state of Israel. Um, then we have to uh, win in the hearts and minds um, of other countries. And I think this time feels a little bit different in that we have other countries who are showing support in ways that hasn't happened in the past. But I am not naive to think that those things will last for a long time. So you have to take yourself off mute there, my friend.
I knew that. Sorry. I just said, so we have a lot of work to do.
Yes,
In the meantime, we pray.
we pray. Yeah.
Did you find any prayers that spoke to you, or is there
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I've been, uh, I have had, um, there is a prayer for the state of Israel. There's a prayer for the Israel Defense Forces, and a shameless plug for Cantor Norman, who put together a video that's going to be released tomorrow or the next day or sometime. Beautiful prayer for the state of Israel. But I have been thinking about Psalm 30. Psalm 30, which is the psalm that was done for the dedication of the house. What's the house? The Beit HaMikdash. It says, Aroma Mecha Adonai, that I extol you, God. You have lifted me up and not let my enemies rejoice over me. And that I cried out and you healed me. You brought me up from Sheol, from that dark place down. There you go. And preserved me from coming out of the pit. Right, and that we when things are okay, then we think that we're not going to be shaken, right? And then all of a sudden we become terrified. Right? Go down. I think it's I don't know. It's like verse 5 or something, 6. Yeah. All right. When I was in trouble, I thought I shall never be shaken. Right. But then when you hid your face, I was terrified. We feel God's absence. And so we call out to God, and we ask God for mercy. And then at the very end, go up a little bit. No, keep going. There we go. There it is. Okay. You turned my lament into dancing and undid my sackcloth and girded me with joy. That we're going to have to go through. We are going through lament. A relative of mine, relative of my wife's, was buried this afternoon, after being murdered, and so yes, we are in lament, but at the end of that, we will come and we will dance and we will be joyful. So that's been the psalm that's been. I mean, Libiba Mizrach, the Judah Halevi poem, has been there. Psalm 30, and then of course the prayers for the state of Israel, which I think we should end with. So.
Before we do that, let me just ask Talia: is there a prayer that has spoken to you recently? That's something that has helped you? It's okay if there isn't. I'm putting you on the spot.
There is, the praise you say before bed, Shema Israel.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah. Before you go, you put your, head and go to sleep. Yeah, it's like hope, little hope. Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
I think that's true, Talia. I think the prayer, our evening prayer, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, that we hope that we lay down in, and under God's protection, and that we will stand up to life renewed, and that we ask God to cover us like a sukkah, tuck us into bed in peace. And I think
that's also part of the Midanat Tefillah LeMedinat Israel.
Yeah.
That same line. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Rabbi David, how would you like to end?
Do you want to end with that prayer? Do you want to share that prayer? Tfilat Lemedinat Israel.
Yeah.
I'm pulling it up right here.
If you're pulling it up, can we have Talia?
I don't know. Talia, would you be comfortable reading this? Is that okay?
תפילה לשלום המדינה.
בעברית, yeah. I think I have it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
אבינו שבשמיים צור ישראל וגואלו, ברך את מדינת ישראל, ראשית צמיחת גאולתנו. הגן עליה בעברת חסדיך ופרוס עליה סוכת שלומך, ושלח אורך ואמתך לראשיה, שריה ויועציה, ותקנם בעצה טובה מלפניך. חזק את ידי מגיני ארץ קודשנו, והנחילם אלוהינו ישועה ועטרת ניצחון תיאטרם, ונתת שלום בארץ ושמחת עולם ליושביה. ואת אחינו כל בית ישראל, פקד נא בכל ארצות פזוריהם, ותוליכם מהרה כמומיות לציון עיריך, ולירושלים משכן שמך, ככתוב בתורת משה עבדיך. אם יהיה נידחך בקצה השמיים, משם יקבצך אדוני אלוהיך, ומשם ייקחך. והביאך אדוני אלוהיך אל הארץ אשר ירשו אבותיך, וירשת ויטיבך וירבך מאבותיך. ויחד לבבנו לאהבה וליראה את שמך, ולשמור את כל דברי תורתך. ושלח לנו מהרה בן דוד משיחה צדקך, לפדות מחכי קץ ישועתך, הופע באדר גאון עוזיך על כל יושבי תבל ארצך, ויאמר כל אשר נשארה באפו, אדוני אלוהי ישראל מלך, ומלכותו בכל משלה, אמן סלע.
Amen. I want to be able to read Hebrew that fast, Talia.
Sorry, it was too fast.
That fast so that I can choose to read it slower.
Right, right. Talia,
Sorry.
we're so grateful for you, not just that you took the time today, but really, and I mean it, I really mean it when I said it's such an honor having you be with our kids. There's no one that I would rather be teaching our kids. You're such a gift, and we're really grateful for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I love those kids.
I know you do. I know you do. And we're keeping your family and your friends in our hearts and in our prayers. Rabbi, you have a special, is it the Torah study that's coming up, yeah?
I do. On Saturday, we've got a very challenging Torah study. We are going to be talking about what I have termed Israel's impossible choice between the virtues and the values of Pidyon Shvuyim, the redemption of captives, and Pikuach Nefesh, the saving of a life, which in this case may be in conflict with each other. And so we're gonna take a look at that. 9:00 on Saturday morning on our regular Temple Sinai Zoom.
You know, I usually go to Sha'arei Shena on Saturday mornings, but
Yes, I've heard of that.
I might have to wake up for this one. It sounds beautiful. And are there any other announcements of maybe things that you might be doing in the future that you're ready to share, or is that coming later?
I think we are ready to share that I will be going to Israel, assuming that we will be able to. A group of rabbis in our community are going to be going in literally less than 2 weeks. We'll be leaving on the 12th, coming back on the 17th, so it will be a very quick trip to bring strength and to bring solidarity to our community. And I feel honored and really humbled to be able to do it. I'll be sharing on a daily basis through social media, through Temple Sinai social media and my own, and want to be able to say we're on the ground supporting our brothers and sisters.
Absolutely. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right. Well, Talia, thank you. Rabbi Litwack, as always. Everyone should have a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Bye.